Hey, what is up guys? So we are going to be doing a deck profile for another deck that's going to be very strong going into the 2015 January ban list. Now this build is going to be Cleese, and this is a very interesting build, but very strong. And anyways, this is a deck made by KC Barbie. This was a top ARG deck that topped previously this month, so it's still a very fresh deck, and obviously they are getting more support, but going right into the January ban list, you know, we don't have that new set coming up. But anyways, I like this build because it's a little bit different than a lot of other builds. But anyways, let's go and jump right into the deck profile. If you guys just want a net deck, I'll put a link down below in that description box, and if you want to check out the other top 3 decks going into the January 2015 ban list, I'll put those also down below in that description box. But anyways, let's go ahead and get started, and then we'll make some comments after we go ahead and go over the entire deck list. So first off, there's 3 scouts, 1 towers or killer, 3 disc, 3 helix, 3 carrier, 2 of the perform pal trampolinix, 3 storm, 3 upstarts, 3 summoner's art, 3 pot of duality, 3 mystical space typhoons, 3 sacrifice, 1 laser clip, 3 climate change, 3 vanity's emptiness. So that is going to be it for the main deck. As far as the extra, he's playing a Gaia Dragon the Thunder Charger, 1 Volcasaurus, 1 Durandal, 1 Shark Fortress, 1 Dark Rebellion XYZ Dragon, 1 Karen Gorgon the Anti-Luminescent Knight, a name man, number 103 Ragnar Zero, number 101 Castell, 1 Diamond Direwolf, 1 Excita Knight, Lavolval Chain, Abyss Dweller, Gaga Cowboy, and number 80 Rhapsody and Berserk. And for the side deck, he decided to go with 2 Vanity's Emptiness, 3 Maxi, 1 Raigeki, 1 Nobleman of Crossout, 3 Monarch Storm 4th, 2 Spell Shattering Arrows, and 3 Shadow Imprisoning Mirror. So that's it for the deck profile, but let's go and make some comments about this deck, because this is a very interesting take on it. Basically, he's decided to play his deck in a way where he can kind of combat his opponent answering his own cards by having 3 of the climate change. In addition to climate change, if you guys don't know what the heck this is, some players opt to play 1. The thing when you play more copies of climate change, it opens up the door to you having a rebuttal, which means that if your opponent kind of MSTs your scouts early on, or the wreck your pendulum scale, you have a better chance to come back into the game. Now, one downside with that is you lose speed. Sometimes if you're playing against a deck that can OTK you open up with multiple climate change, and just other cards that you just can't complete your scales with. This can become a problem. Obviously, the deck is pretty consistent because you have 3 copies of Summoner Art, you have 3 copies of Duality, you have 3 Upstart Goblins, you have 3 Scouts. So hopefully you'll try to get your deck as consistent as possible, but of course, with bad hands, they just happen to you. Sometimes you open up like Vanity's Emptiness, Climate, multiple Climate Chains. Maybe you got the Trampoline Cat and some MSTs, and you just don't have the ability to just throw up monsters to keep yourself alive, or even like storms or something like that. But yeah, that's basically how he's designed the deck, which is kind of interesting because pretty much everyone plays multiple copies of MST. But I like the idea of not only having Climate Change, but adding storms. So first off, Climate Change, let's go ahead and go over the effect real quick. So it's a trap card that makes it so you can add up to 3 face-up pendulum monsters from your extra deck to your hand, and you can only activate 1 of them per turn, but you're getting +2, so that's a huge free advantage. And if you've already activated that Scout's effect, then you're getting free extra advantage, so that's definitely very plus in the game. But it combos so well with this card over here. It's called Storm. It's a card I don't know if many players have actually played, but I think it's actually got some potential, especially with this build. I think this is awesome. So it's called Storm. You destroy all spell and trap cards you control, then destroy as many spell and trap cards your opponent controls as possible, up to the number of your own cards you destroyed. So what's cool with that is maybe you already completed your scale and you don't really need your stuff. Your opponent sets 2, you're afraid of maybe perhaps running into a back row that can disrupt you. Maybe there's a Wind Blast end phase. If this was a quick play, it'd be way better. That's the only real downside that I see with Storm. If this was a quick play, oh man, we'd be looking at like a much better card. But nonetheless, it's still a decent card. It just lets you be able to get rid of you know, anything. But obviously, with the way the format is, obviously Bottomless Trap Hole is a card that can completely wreck you. But what I like with this is that you can complete your scale, go for all your summons. And then if you're worried about things like Mirror Force, I mean, Mirror Force isn't really too meta, I would say, right now. But the thing is, there are some people that still play D-Prison and stuff like that. So not just for Cleese in general can play Storm. Other Pendulum-based decks that would lose to something like a Mirror Force, or anything that's activated during the battle phase, essentially. Because if you're going to activate Storm, the only problem is they can chain the Wind Blast, they can chain the Convulsus. So there's one downside to Storm as well, but like I said, if it was a quick play, this card would be on another level. But it's interesting to see that he wasn't playing any of the Majesty's Fiend. That has been also a very popular card. The Vandy's Fiend and Majesty's Fiend, very popular cards in general, just to combat some of the meta. But anyways, that's a deck profile for you guys. Like I said, if you want to check out Shaddolls and as well as the Burning Abyss, these are all basically the top 3 decks going into the January 15th 2015 ban list, and I think these are all going to be strong decks even after the list is already out, and you know, we get more archetypes in the game, and we just can't wait for those Nakloths. I think that'll be another top deck, but they're not out yet. But anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Have a great day, and as always, if you want to just go ahead and download the deck and make it much easier for you if you have DevPro, link as always. And congrats to Casey Carby for this really unique take on it. I just didn't really see anyone just using both these in combination, and it works quite well. But anyways, thanks for watching. Azneyes out.